Hello, everyone. Welcome back to T&J's Child's Play. This is the third episode, right?
Third, yes.
Episode 3 of our new journey.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going to get into hookup culture.
Spicy, very spicy.
Yeah.
Pause if you need to, reflect if you need to, send that text or don't send that text, whatever you need to do. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Or don't get into Uber.
Oh. Or just drive. You don't gotta get an Uber. Just get in your car and drive.
Hookup culture, we're talking about Ubering.
Okay.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
Ubering at 2 o'clock in the morning. Those are expensive. The fees for Uber actually go up at that time. At around 12 o'clock, and depending on who's out on the road, it actually goes
Sounds
up.
like a sign to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, or you just pay for what you want. Pay for what you want.
That was actually a cool spin. Hey, that was actually nice. But yes.
You gotta pay for convenience, right? That's why 7-Eleven's so high.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, we're here to talk about hookup culture, talk about a little bit of the stories, what it is, also reflecting back to old T&J and what we thought it was back then and what we think it is now, and how's ghetto out here?
Just slightly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as nice as we like it to be.
Yeah.
But can hookup culture really be nice? Well, first, what do you even define as hookup culture? I guess that's a good question to start with.
So what, you want the scientific answer or do you want the
give me the Jada
answer?
historian answer? Give me what the kids are calling it. You can give me whatever answer you think. Give me a mix of both. Throw it together.
Well, yeah,
dress
just
it up and make it real.
Hookup culture in general is just kind of how dating is kind of looked or perceived as when it comes to, American society. From now, we talk about things like Tinder, Grindr, all of those apps that people really use for hookups.
Right.
Like, it's dating apps, but come on, they're for hookups.
Right.
Looking from things in social media, a lot of the shows and stuff that I watch say that Instagram is their new Tinder. And just looking at those dichotomies within how you pick up people.
Yeah.
For hookups.
Definitely think Tinder is one of those. But I mean, it also cannot be one of those as well. It all depends on the person and how you lead. Maybe it's just, great conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe
it doesn't have to be that, but a lot of people are using it for that.
Yeah.
I hear in like 5-10 likes. That's a green light for.
Is that still a thing?
Stuff.
I know earlier years it was like, hey, I'm liking, 10 pictures and you like 5 of mine. That's the green light to send you a DM.
People are still dating like that.
Okay, so that's still a thing.
It's still a very current thing.
Hey, this is the transition from 2018 to now, so I have some things to relearn. It's so old.
But since we're talking about it, let's take it back.
Yeah.
When we first started recording, what did 19-year-old Trey think about hookup culture back then? What do you think he thought of it?
19-year-old Trey. That was sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Ooh, sophomore year was a time. Just getting out there and experiencing. Seeing what's out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really say what hookup culture was. If it wasn't if I didn't have a interest in pursuing something serious, I would think that's where the hookup culture was
got you
introduced for me. Hey, at least it's just gonna be a thing. It's just a cool time. We get together.
Cool time, huh?
But if there was actually
cool
interest,
times.
if there was actually interest there, I think I paused on that and didn't go fully there, and yeah, maybe a date or two, or get to know a person more before just diving right in.
It's definitely interesting that you said that, especially with younger people, kind of differentiating whether they want to have something serious with the person or they just want to have fun.
Right. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, that's what gets blurred, and I think that's what
it's very blurred.
Introduces all of those crazy stories that I hear all the time.
No, absolutely. I definitely think that's the case. And sometimes it may start off as a hookup and then you realize that you actually like the person. Do you actually like the person, or now you got feelings, or you lusting because you hooked up with somebody?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes, I can't say unhealthy because people learn so much in that stage of their life or that time period, whatever it happens. People have multiple times when they're just kind of indulging in hookups. I can't sit here and say that, oh my God, like it's a terrible thing, but you definitely have to like know how to reflect off of what you like and didn't like about your experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, having their Gerard Carmichael face. I don't know if anybody's watched that, but it's actually
such a great show.
And
10 out of 10 recommend.
Cinematography in that is beautiful. Yeah, I love that. The shots and I think his personality is also showcased in that show as well. It's like a little awkward.
The dry humor. Yeah, it works so well. It's a lot of silence, and the silence really works with it. But that aside, it's great that you talked about that show because he was having his own hookup culture in a committed relationship.
Which is wild.
Do you want to talk about that for a little bit?
We can. I mean, it definitely was hookup culture.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We can get a little bit into cheating and how that correlates to hookup culture as well.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are in open relationships and they don't even know it.
Yikes!
Yikes!
No, seriously. I think so too. It's not defined. It's not clear, and I think it does need to be clear if you want a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had somebody who told me that they were in a open relationship. Yeah, and it was a woman that said that.
Oh wow.
And she said, I'm cool with him doing whatever as long as like we are open and communicate about that, and we're both in the know. And so I don't know if she was in the know at that particular time. So
exactly. That's my thing. It takes a lot of maturity. So people are just throwing these terms and stuff out there, like just being with multiple people in committed relationships, open relationships, poly, all these words. But it's like you guys don't even know how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even you don't feel comfortable enough with telling your partner the wants and needs of what you want.
Yeah. And those things aren't laid out in the beginning. I think that makes it hard to maintain and keep up with. And I think that's where the fidelity piece like comes in.
Yeah.
If the communication is not there or open to talk and discuss about those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more of a dating topic, just to piggyback off of that as well. A lot of people that I hear when they talk about relationships, they talk about the initial first stages of first dates and whatever and whatnot, and how they are the best version of themselves, and then eventually, your real self comes out.
Yeah.
I think that
it's a mask.
Yeah, we really have to. I'm not gonna say get away with that, but it definitely needs to be something that needs to be discussed.
Yeah,
because this is you get into an open relationship that you don't know you're in because of these type of things and having your guard up when it comes to that. If you're not fully open with yourself, how are you going to be able to even indulge? Indulge into that.
Yeah. And I think, and even just going back to just not, I guess, telling everything in the beginning. I think everybody has a mask, whether you're talking about the fidelity piece or not being clear with your expectations. But everybody has a mask. You have a mask. I have a mask. We all have masks that we like put on up of ourselves, that how we want to be like perceived. And then I think after a while it's kind of like it comes out. Our natural selves just come out. But I think it's hard to put that down. You have to be conscious and self-aware of that and be willing to be open. So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. I can't do that. I'm still working on that.
Exactly. But hey, you said you're still working on it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that goes back to people being in hookup culture and not trying to figure out how they can benefit out of it.
Yeah. Talk about your experience and just, getting out there and dating and, is it straight to the, hey, you trying to meet me here?
No.
What's up with you?
Absolutely
late night?
not.
No.
It's absolutely not that. It's the total opposite of that. And
how do you curve that?
I feel like
how do you swerve that? How do you curve that? How do you swerve that? If that's not what you... How do you curve that?
How do I curve it?
Yes. How do you curve that?
You know...
They don't know how you curve it.
It's not even the fact of that, though. I feel like we try to date with intention.
Okay.
We both try to do that.
Yeah.
I just take it to the extreme, and that's where my issue lies with it.
Mm-hmm. What is the extreme? She's looking at me like, what are you talking about?
One strike and you're out.
Okay.
That's the extreme.
Gotcha.
And I need to put my guard down as well. That's
so
why
you don't allow for 3 chances.
No.
I do a 3 chance.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You do a 3 chance.
I do a 3 chance.
Yeah.
I just have to be sure and aware.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have my lenses on so tight. Like, I just really don't want to get played. So, but just like I said, there's a lot of learning that comes with going into a relationship and having it fail.
Yeah.
Or dating around and not getting what you want out of it.
But I think too, and even in the relationships that are undefined and they're really not clear, or expectations of, hey, this is what it is. If you are that, self-aware person, you learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
I think you learn so much about what you want in a person, what you like, what your standards are and things like that. So I can't say that this piece of hookup culture is not beneficial either. I mean, I'm not telling you to just be out here thotting and bopping with everybody, but what I am saying is that there's also something that you can take from it as well if you are doing it. You're like, oh, I really don't like the way this person, talks to me this way, or my communication style is this, and this is what I prefer when it comes to like a relationship. So you can learn things about, what you want in a relationship during that time period too.
Some deep stuff, huh?
Yeah.
A little reflecting on yourself.
Oh yeah, I reflect all the time. I think that's my problem. Reflecting too much.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but it's always good to do that.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to touch bases on is, I know I show you clips on YouTube all the time of these dating shows.
Yeah.
And popping balloons.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
The expectations that males and females have for each other is crazy.
Yeah. It is.
Off rip crazy.
I'm laughing because we're talking about specifically in this area, and I was asking, do people still call people red bones? I want a thick red bone.
Yes.
What did you say with that wide hips?
With childbearing hips.
Okay, childbearing hips.
People, yeah.
What does that mean?
It means what you think it means.
Okay. Not sure what that means.
You don't know what childbearing hips mean?
No, what does that mean? Like she just thick in the waist?
Wider hips.
Okay, like a Coke bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, sure.
Coke bottle's not really like wide at the bottom. I got that from that song. Like a model. Coke bottle. Okay.
But
expectations. Yeah,
just talking about the expectations.
What do you think are some of the expectations that men have?
Women want men to pay for everything.
Okay.
Not talking about all women, but these are the things that people are talking about on social media and on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then men want women to be perfect. They want them.
Let's go back to the first one.
Yeah.
Women want men to pay for everything. Do you feel like the woman should have those finances and money if she wants the male to pay for everything, man to pay for everything?
You know that is based on each relationship. Each relationship is going to be different. And you know that monetary gains, that's literally just a myth. Mm-hmm. Cause if he wants to pay for everything, sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to work for your money, sure. It's not a right or wrong thing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing that a lot of people talk about, or a lot of attention that it gets from men. Cause it's like, oh, you want me to do this, that, and third? I have to be perfect. No, but. And then again, different status of women, they're used to different things. So if you want that statue of a woman, and you're bringing nothing to the table,
right? Yeah,
that's the real conversation.
Yeah, I'm big on that. Like you have to match what you want.
Exactly.
If you want someone that's making X amount of dollars, you need to be close to doing that as well. You want someone that's good looking, you should be in the gym as well. I think that the energy definitely should match, and I think what you put out, you'll also receive as well. Cool. And I think the law of attraction is slept on so much. People want, and they don't understand that as they want those things, they're actually taking them further from themselves. Right. But if you operate,
do you have the qualities that you want within a partner,
right,
or within people that you want to be around or date?
Yeah. But I think if you operate in a space of like, I'm good either way, not to say that you're too good, but like you're just really operating with yourself, I think things will come to you, as you work on yourself.
That's one that I wanted to just kind of touch bases on. Yeah. Because women get a lot of flack, especially those type of women. Yeah. I don't think they should. Yeah. Because, everybody's different. Right. And if she wants her bills paid, she wants her bills paid.
I will say, what's wrong with that? I
for her.
I learned a lot from just you all. I have a lot of female friends, and I definitely learn a lot from you all.
Yeah.
Maybe too much.
I learn a lot from you too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. Like what things? Like, well, I don't know if you want to share those.
No, they're good things.
Okay.
You want me to share them?
Yeah, when your friends say that they like learn stuff, like we were playing, we had a game night last week, and the card that was on the game night was if you could switch places with anybody in the room, who would it be? And like 5 people said me in the room, and I'm like, y'all don't want this.
That's so nice.
That is really nice. I'm flattered. Like
Yeah.
I think that's really dope. At the same time, you do not know all the things and experiences and just trial after trial and obstacle after obstacle. Like you see me traveling, posting on social media, and we'll dive later into this in this season. But like everything is not all that it looks like.
Right.
So it's a little challenging. Wait, I went off my point. Bring me back.
What I learned from you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you're very meticulous. That aside, there's pros and cons to that characteristic that you have.
Yeah.
But just as what you would want from a man, embodiment of that, the confidence, the the hygiene, everything.
Yeah.
You know,
those are things
you're
that I
definitely
value.
Exactly, and you're
Right.
definitely just a structured like person. Like, hey, cool.
Right.
Of those qualities, I would want someone like
Have
that.
your shit together.
But
Stay away from me.
it's just not out here like that.
Yeah. And so those are things that you feel as though that you also are like, oh yeah, I think I can see those qualities or things
Absolutely.
for myself as well. Yeah. for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I tell my friends, like, make a list. What is it that you want in a person?
I made that list 13 times.
You just redid your list over and over.
I keep on redoing it.
I think it's
it was a
important.
time where I was doing it over and over again from our college stuff, but then I've done it over and over again, and it's probably totally different now because I haven't done one in 5 years.
Yeah, and it's probably because over time you make that list and you grow and you realize certain things or qualities that you want like in a person, or that maybe these are things that I need to work on myself if I want this person to be able to provide those things. I think it's crazy to request something and not be able to provide it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's the woman's side of the expectations and the things that I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
On the men's side, it's so much. But since we're talking about hookup culture, let's talk about how they want freaks, but they want the woman not to have no body count. Like, I'm just telling you, this could be a 3-hour episode.
It really could.
Because men are very ridiculous, and I don't even understand some of the things that some of my peers deal with.
Yeah.
You're still there? You're still here?
Yeah.
But yeah.
When you're ready, you're ready.
Could you kind of talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely could see
But just give some notes on it.
Yeah, I definitely could see that there's like a double standard there of like, okay, you can go out and do what you want to do and experience all that you want to experience, but for the woman that she's not able to do that. And I'm wondering when they have these conversations and you're talking about the woman's body count, do they discuss the male's body count at the same time?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I didn't think so. I was just
absolutely
curious.
not.
So I'm not really sure why there is a. I mean, I think men.
You want a freak, but not a hoe. Like what? How does that correlate?
It's possible to have both. It's possible to be a freak and not a hoe. Is it not?
I'm not.
I think so too.
Yeah, but like, how did she become a freak?
She could have learned things with a specific person.
Okay, so you want them to have one person.
I'm not saying one person.
Or a couple of people.
Maybe a couple of people, and then she learned some things.
Yeah, just tell me. I just want. Yeah, I want to know from a man's perspective
yes.
why they keep on saying that. It just didn't make sense to me. So please enlighten me.
I think it's. I'm not gonna say rare. I don't know what you're the historian here. I don't know the statistics with that, but I think it's possible for a woman to be good and not have that many partners. I think it's possible. Now, I think the expectation of wanting to know her body count, but you can't say what yours is crazy.
Oh, well then you know
what
that's
I mean?
Second nature to a lot of men.
I think
too.
that's a little immature. Like,
well, a lot of the immature men that some people that I know are dealing with.
Yeah, well,
I can't speak to everyone because there's some people that are enlightened, some people that have already went through this. But disclaimer: we're not. What is the word? Putting everybody in one box.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know the
All
word
of our
right
eggs
now.
in one basket?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Just talking about some of the things that I've heard through the grapevine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why the expectations like that. I think for men though, I think they are prideful and they want to show off like who they have, what they have. So I think in that it may be like a. Wait, how many dudes you mess with? Or like you've been out here like in the Norfolk area, Virginia Beach area, like, you know, it's my shawty, like if when I introduce her to my friend, like, yo, I bagged her too. Like I can see that. But I'm not. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know why that is
Yeah.
that double standard piece. I can't tell you.
Any other expectations you're hearing from the men's side that you're like,
I don't know. I think for my friends, some of my female friends, I think just like the males going out and doing what they want to do, but the females cannot do that.
We can really talk into that too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy. And if you don't want to be in a relationship or something that's committed, I just say that. You know what I mean? Like, just be upfront with that. Like, make that clear. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if that's not the right person that you gonna chill with and have fun with, okay, like but allow that person to make that decision. Don't let them think that you want something serious, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back to that though. People putting up a void just to kind of get what they want, and that's just kind of the name of the game sometimes.
Is it getting what they want, or they don't know what they want? That's a good question.
They don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah.
What they want.
Yeah.
Like, what the future looks like for them.
Right.
In relationships.
Yeah. And
it's a good point.
And I think it goes back to episode 2 of also like your upbringing and like what you're around and being a part of your environment.
Yes.
What did you see growing up, in your household as far as a relationship goes, and how were women treated in front of you? How were men treated in front of you? And I think that also
it's a great point.
Makes the person as well. But also, too, like we talked about in the second episode, I don't think that is end all be all. Oh, I'm like this because my dad treated my mom this way. Okay, well, if you know that your dad treated your mom this way and you're conscious of that, you can also unlearn that as well. And you don't have to treat women the same way.
Right.
So I think it really it depends on the individual and person. But there's still no excuse either, especially if you're aware of that. And you can say that out your mouth. I'm this way because my dad was this way. So you're that way, and it's not right.
Right.
So you can make some changes.
Love this episode so far already.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So what we've defined what hookup culture is. We talked a little bit about expectations of hookup culture. What else do you want to talk about?
There's so many ways that you can go with this episode. Is it cheating if there's no official title?
What type of answer do you want me to do?
I can't tell you what answer. Whatever answer feels natural.
Do you want the blunt answer, or do you want the raw and uncut answer?
You give me the historian answer.
No,
blunt
it's
answer,
not cheating.
Raw, and it's not cheating.
It's not cheating.
Okay.
Because people have to figure out what titles are, and that's a scary subject for people.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't matter if he took the condom off. Y'all not in a relationship until he says that you're his girlfriend. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, this is true.
And that's the blunt answer. Yeah. But feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Situationships, another term that was coined within our generation.
Right. Yeah.
It gets deeper, and like it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have those experiences.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that it's not okay to have those certain experiences.
Yeah.
But on the other end, it's like, how much do you value yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm big on saying this to my friends. If you want to go out here and do what you do, that's cool. It's fine by me, as long as you understand where you're at.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is if you're in a phase of where, okay, I'm gonna have this whole phase right now, I'm gonna go out, wild out, and do what I want to do, and you understand that you are right there in that position, but you know that you don't want to stay there, and eventually you want to be in a relationship, understand where you're at.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand where you're at, I think that's how you become lost in it, and then you lose value in yourself, and you don't understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. But as long as you understand where you're at, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You can deal with whatever it is you want to do, as long as it's a conscious decision to deal with those things, not you feel like, oh, this is my life and this is what it is, and I'm stuck in that. Yeah. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it is really good stuff. Cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating in hookup culture.
And I think where it becomes a little hard, right? Because I was like, is it cheating if it's not official, if there's no actual title? I think it's hard when you have actions and things that say otherwise, but those things aren't confirmed just via communication.
Yeah. And that's another area where I feel like people are still trying to figure it out, because a lot of people are researching these great things like the 5 love languages and all of these things, and I feel like a lot of men are like saying, well, I'm doing all these things for you, providing these things for you, even I'm giving you some emotional support that you need right now, But sometimes that you need to give more for what you want.
Right.
Like, okay, these things are great, these things are good, but what about the communication that she needs?
Right. Yeah.
What about the support she needs in other areas?
Yeah.
That you can't see, the ubiquitous stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I just feel like communication is always key, even with hookup culture, because now once you're trying to get out of that, what is that looking like for you?
Yeah, and
how are you going to introduce that to your current partner or your top person on your roster?
It's a challenge.
Or what people saying, I got a roster. I'm so tired of hearing roster.
You know, I haven't said roster since my sophomore, junior year. Okay, senior year of college. All right, Jada, you can stop with the faces. I don't know when.
I don't know when either.
But I that was.
You haven't said it in a while.
That was definitely a younger term for me. I think I've grown in that area and place. And like, honestly, like me, I don't want a lot of people in my vicinity, my area. I don't want people around me like that. Unless your energy is aligned, I'm good. And I'm very big on energy, and energy does not lie. Dang, I always get into one point and I forget where I was going with the other point. Bring it full circle. What was we talking about before this?
What were we talking about? More on cheating. What else were we talking about?
It being undefined.
It's
I think it ultimately it's hard to call it cheating if it's not defined. But I think does make it challenging when you have a person that's showing actions and things of a relationship but does not want to be in the relationship. That's
what you really wanted to talk about.
That's tough. Back to this timeline.
Go back to the timeline.
No, because you looking at me. Go ahead. Go say what you want to say, Richmond Oprah.
We need a couple more people on this damn couch. I'll tell you that much.
Then you really gonna bring out a tissue, and I have to go put on the Oprah shirt then. Yeah. What do you think constitutes to fidelity and infidelity?
Infidelity, that's basically cheating too, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what else?
Casual versus committed relationships. What do you think leads to that?
Oh, okay, cool. We could talk about casual. It kind of piggybacks off of what we were already saying. I feel like it's very easy to get put into that coin term of a situationship off of what people are doing within their relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? I love him.
Yeah, I'm gonna cook for him, and you haven't cooked for yourself in 4 weeks. Oh, we need to bring it back. Okay, we might gotta cut that out.
Ain't no cut out.
What you mean ain't no cut out?
Ain't no cut out. It is what it is. We rolling. Let's keep this going.
But let's get back into it though. But yeah, it's just the different. What can I say? The patterns.
Yeah,
it's easy to get into different patterns with a person.
Absolutely. And you know that I talked about my experience, and like I said, that was me speaking from my own experience as far as, you know, doing relationship things but not wanting to be in a relationship, and then it's a complete 360 switch up, and I'm like, whoa, am I crazy? Because I thought this is what you wanted based off of what you was showing, and that's not it. We're not on that wave. I've never said that. Okay, but your actions said it. And I think you can speak in different ways. I think you can speak with your actions and your gestures in the way that you treat a person.
I think people get pissed off at that. I feel like
oh, for sure. I was pissed.
I feel like their initial emotions, like the other person that was on the other side of what you had going on, them showing all of that. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, I do want this.
Right.
I'm scared to tell them that right now. Yeah. But like, I can't hide it. Yeah. I want to do things for this person. I want to uplift this person. Right. I want to support this person as much as I can.
Right.
And I feel like those things come out.
Yeah.
And that's how the patterns start.
Yeah.
Instead of you just saying, hey, I really do like you. I can see us going from casual to serious.
Yeah.
But these X, Y, and Z, this is why.
Right.
People can't have that conversation with each other.
Right.
They're very scared to talk to each other.
Yeah. They can't have the conversation, or they're not mature enough to have the conversation.
Yeah.
If you're not mature enough to have the conversation, how do you expect to maintain a relationship?
Yeah.
You can't.
And now that's a fault on women. That's a fault on women, because I feel like a lot of women would not be ready to hear that from men. They're not ready to hear the egotistical braggadocious part that happens with men when it comes to dating. Like, yeah, I just want to have sex with a couple of different women right now.
Yeah.
If a man comes up to you, a man that you actually kind of care for, you guys have been having conversations for say a month or a couple of months, some women can't handle that amount of truth.
Right. Yeah. This is true. Yeah. So what do you do in that situation as the male that is trying to be open and express communication? I think you should move on to the next woman. Right?
That's
Don't you?
what you should do in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
That's what some men do.
Yeah. But men, I don't want to say, I don't want. I feel like there's a better term. Help me out, historian. I feel like there's a better term for men in like just pursuing. Maybe it's pursuing. But I want to say like natural like chasers or predators. Like I feel like men are like that. So like even like getting a no,
yes, genetically,
like what?
Yes,
and it kind of flick something for you. And it's
yes,
like,
it's called ego. It's called ego, and yeah, especially if you're if you grew up to be a traditional man with the traditional characteristics, yes, you're gonna have a little bit of ego. You're gonna have a little bit of pride with you, and it's gonna be hard because women are the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
It has to get instilled into us. The confidence has to get instilled into us. So when a woman, like, that's why we could go back to the cheating, vice versa. Like, if the man cheats and the woman cheats back, why the man is so hurt is because they have a sense of pride with them. And when their pride gets crushed, they don't know how to deal with that. When our confidence has to get built up within ourselves.
Okay, Richmond Oprah. All right, Richmond Oprah and the Norfolk Dr. Phil. Let's do it. I like that. That was good.
That's really what it is.
You should
Genetics.
write a book.
Y'all have more testosterone than y'all.
Yeah.
So, like, your sex drive is naturally higher than women.
This is true.
So, like, once you really figure that out, see, that's your daily life becomes non-existent.
Now it becomes non-existent. You're saying that's your situation right now, non-existent.
Yeah, because that's just kind of what it is right now, and it's not a knock to men, but you just definitely have to kind of adapt, especially if you find a special person that you would really want to take serious. Like, do you want to put that, like, it's kind of like that Friday song that you played twice. Like, I'm going to put my pride aside for you.
Right. Yeah.
That's a very deep lyric.
Yeah, and I can't do that too much. I mean, I can, but I have to be feeling a certain way in order to do that.
Dichotomy wise, would you want to talk about male versus male like relationships? Because that is a interesting dichotomy that I study to this day. Two men could be in like a committed relationship and what that looks like.
I'm still trying to figure this shit out, so I don't know if I can give you much.
It's like I feel like it's like two bulls just raging at each other.
Absolutely, yeah, it is crazy. Like, where do you want to start?
I don't know. Just
like, I don't know. Like, please let me know. Give me the outline because we can talk from here to here.
Okay, well, we can go back to the confidence versus the ego and pride that men and women have when they're in a relationship with each other. When it comes to same sex with two men, how does that look? Because you guys are. Yeah, the confidence space, you both have a sense of ego to you. I mean, some men are probably more egotistical than others, but you have a sense of, hey, I'm a man.
Right, yeah.
So, like, how would that work when it comes to those type of parts of the relationship?
I was just telling my friend about this the other day. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about somebody making more money than me.
You see stuff like that.
And I think, like, I'm okay, but I'm working on that, and that hasn't been presented to me. I've always feel like I've taken on like the role of like providing and like caring for someone versus like the other partner, like in like a relationship or situationship, whatever you want to call it. It just naturally has been like that's who I am. So I think for it to kind of be like reverse, that's new. You know what I mean? And I think like that dynamic like needs to be like figured out. So many ways that I'm being stretched and grown in this season of my life. It's crazy, actually. But yeah, I don't know. I think it can also be like a boost or push if, someone is doing things that are better than you, my sophomore year where, experiencing, dating someone that was well involved in all things, whatever, and I wanted to do those things as well. And like I'm like, okay, how do I do that? How do I tap into doing all those things?
That relationship was like watching a Euphoria episode.
Okay, thank you.
Like literally, those 5 mint gum commercials where it's like, it was like that.
Yeah,
it was very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
That.
But I think it pushed me, and it also forced me to like grow and just learn different things. And some of those things that I saw, like him partaking in doing, I also wanted to do those things as well, like getting involved and stuff, like on at school and extracurriculars and things like that, and like wanting to have something like of my own. I don't know if that was an ego thing or that was like an inspiration type of thing. So I do think there is some benefits as far as like the ego piece, but there are also some things that I'm like, okay, maybe I need to work on this as far as like maybe somebody making more money than me. Like maybe I can learn some things, from them. But like I sit in the back seat. I'm like, wait, no, I always drive. Like, what do you mean sit in the back seat? So that is different for me.
Yeah, I definitely could just see that being like very, very hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Like even casual dating in general, because it's like, yeah.
They joke me on TikTok Live. They be like, "Yeah, you don't be out here dating." I'm like, I have to feel something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just about to be out here going on dates. I don't have time for that. I'm very busy, and so I have to feel like it's worth my time.
Yeah.
And if not, then stage left, and that's okay.
Right.
A younger Trey was open to that. Like dating and talking to people, whatever. No, I don't have the time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the time now and the present time. What does hookup culture look like to you right now at 25 years old? Are you involved in it that much? Are you just reflecting, looking at others? What's it like right now?
Not as crazy as it was my younger years, or like sophomore year, whatever, those first couple of years of like college. So definitely has calmed down a lot. Like I said, I feel like I'm busy, like with schedule wise, and just things that I want to do and have accomplished. And I got goals, so I gotta knock those goals out. And I can't feel like if you distracted me or throwing me off, I gotta cut ties with that.
Yeah.
So it's if the vibe is there, I'm not gonna say that I haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done.
It's funny.
This is so not a fair episode because she's just so like in her Oprah corner.
I love asking questions.
I know you do, Oprah. Go ahead.
It was an Instagram post that I watched, and it cracked me up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was from what's his name, Shiggy, whatever. He did the little dance with Drake, whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you just know what she did if she said that she had a great summer. If you texted and said how your summer was, she said I ain't do nothing. She was just in the house. She won't outside. But if she was outside and said that means she said she had a great summer.
Right.
So I kind of want to talk on that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some of the terms that came, like hot girl summer. Like, what do you think of those terms?
Yeah.
And hot boy summer and all that.
Like, what does it mean to have a hot girl summer, a hot boy summer?
Like, what do you think the correlation and why it goes so well with summer, having your hookups and having hookup culture in general?
Well, I think everybody is outside. It's hot. It's hot outside. I think people are wearing less, so that's also something that is saying. I don't know why the summertime has to be I guess because during the winter it's more cold and you're inside and you want to be like fireplace, cuddled up, Christmas tree, fall time type of thing. Yeah, I think that's the weather does have a big part to play in it. I think that's why they even throw the summer term in there: hot girl summer,
hot girl summer, hot boy summer.
Just meaning you outside. What do you think that means overall? The term. You can unpack that.
God damn it! Well, nobody to come at us with some knives and pitchforks.
I mean, I think the knives are already raised. We didn't said some things.
But no, yeah, I basically agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are more outside in general.
Yeah.
Just like you said, they're showing less skin.
Yeah. It's true.
And it's just an overall playful vibe when you're in the summertime. And then think about here, people going to the beach, people are going out clubbing, vice versa. So you're going to meet more people when you're doing more things outside.
Do you think people are still on the wave of like, okay, it's it's getting ready to get into fall time. It's time to find that one person or whatever for the season. Do you think that's still like a thing? I know like I still hear people post things and stuff on social media like, hey, I'm looking for fall bae or whatever. Like I still see those things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's always going to be a thing right now. I think that from millennials on up, I think we're definitely going to keep that wave going. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of people that are having a hot ass one or two.
Yeah.
and they hot.
It's cold
They,
outside. Yeah.
they drinking cocoa in the snow with a bikini on.
Yeah. Outside building.
Talking about their vibe. That's the vibe that they're giving.
Yeah.
So, some people are just outside all year.
Yeah.
Wide out all year.
Oh my God. Pitchforks.
Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted to just talk about that in general. I just think it's really interesting seeing social media from like wintertime to like May, June, and just seeing like the different content that's out there. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
The weather definitely has a lot to do with it for sure.
Yeah.
You can't get around that at all.
Yeah. Hookup culture.
Yeah. What do you think about the role of social media and like shaping expectations and like behaviors and like relationships?
It's toxic as hell, man.
Yeah.
It's toxic as hell.
What part of the social media part that you think is toxic for a relationship?
These podcasts. These podcasts are very, very, very toxic.
Hopefully we're not on the toxic list.
Yeah, I don't think we are.
I think we're just breaking some things.
I think we're a very unbiased podcast. We kind of talk about the dichotomy a lot. One side, this side, the yin side, and the yang side.
Right, yeah.
So podcasts like us, I feel like we can... we were just talking from experiences. But ones that are highlighting, like when we were talking about preferences and things of that nature, ones that are definitely highlighting pro men and pro women, that's where you get into a crazy, crazy, crazy time. Because like you're highlighting some of those toxic traits, and now women are going to feel like they have to conform to what you're saying, and vice versa. Men are going to feel like they have to conform to these specific things, and you're only giving limited options of what you should be.
Right.
So when you're doing that, it's messing people's minds up when it comes to relationships. Because now somebody is thinking that I have to change who I am entirely to get the type of person that I want.
Yeah.
When that's not even you.
Right. Yeah.
So, surface level, I think that is really messing us up.
Yeah.
It's messing the youth up. Because like 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds, they're watching that. And then when they correlate that to high school and dating, it's going to be a hot ass mess. And then when they go to college, train wreck.
Yeah. I want them to do this, and this is what I saw, and I want a man like this and a woman like that. Yeah.
Yes.
You definitely could see that.
So, yeah, I feel like podcasting definitely is a starting point to it being toxic when it comes to hookup culture and what it means.
Yeah.
But there is also great content out there as well. Like some of the shows that I watch, and some people who just TikTok and do social media in general.
Yeah.
I think that there are some positive things out there too when it comes to hookup culture and people just sharing their experiences as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with hookup culture. I think as long as you understand where you're at, man, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, just when you start getting into niche, like really toxic things, it's really bad.
But I also believe this too. Sometimes you may be, I always sit on this couch and be ready to preach. And sometimes you may be blocking the things that are for you when you are dealing with relationships or people who are hooking up with other people that is not meant for you.
Yeah.
I think you delay that. You delay what's meant for you. I'm not even talking about relationships. I'm talking about opportunities, business opportunities, just different things in general. I think when you're dealing with the wrong people, you sometimes delay that process and things. Because there's been so many times where I've been done with people and cut things off. And here goes an opportunity that just lines up for me. And really, I think it was sitting there the whole time, but I was dealing with the wrong person.
Right. That person was in your way.
And it might have distracted me from it getting that opportunity, and I might have fumbled it.
Yeah.
So I think that also, too, that weighs in it. That goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about how people are posting on social media, but the relationship might not be all what it seems?
Oh yeah.
Or even it being shown, like the Bluefaces and Krishans.
Yeah, and we can even talk to YouTube celebrity couples. There's a lot of them going through divorces and all types of things.
Right.
And that comes from perception.
Right.
It comes from them putting all of their wins
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
And showing that nice, happy, like go lucky couple.
Right.
When honestly it's just for monetary gain.
Yeah.
And that's another example that the youth is getting right now of I need to get in a relationship because that could be our cash cow.
Yeah, no.
And now you have a whole bunch of baggage. You got $1 million and don't know how to live.
Yeah, no. You won't see a relationship for me on social
That's
media.
more on the extreme aspect. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. it's toxic out there. I think you just got to be. I mean, I don't think it's nothing wrong with seeing, and following people or couples and stuff that are, posting on social media.
Right.
But just know in mind that it is social media and
Right.
not all of it is true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people do argue.
Yeah.
Like, people do go through normal relationship things. And
Right.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, man. What a topic, Jada.
Yeah.
Did you come up with this or did I come up with this?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you came up with it.
I'm the Richmond Oprah.
Oh, yes, you are. Let's talk about how, the importance of setting clear boundaries in relationships, regardless of the casual or serious nature.
That's a good topic. Well, I'll give you a follow-up question with that.
Mm-hmm.
When should the boundaries be set? Should they be set as soon as you meet a person, or should they be set once you guys are trying to leap into being in a committed relationship? When should they even be talked about?
Yeah, I definitely think it should be. You don't have to pull out a whole list and say, "Yo, hey, these are my boundaries. If you ain't with it, get gone." Like, I don't think you should do that, but I do think you should be clear on some of the things that you do like or don't like in the beginning. I think as it gets more serious and it's no longer like the casual thing and it's going into, a serious relationship, I think you do have to be more transparent, or not before you guys are ready to jump in the relationship, but introduce those things slowly of like, this is what I would like. But something toxic that I have dealt with is that people have introduced their boundaries as, I guess, things that I've done. I'm like, well, damn, I didn't know that was a boundary. Now, is it a boundary because now it's done and you just don't want me to do that, or like what? Yeah,
those are called the picky choosy people.
Is that a definition, Webster term? Picky
No,
choosy?
it's just something
Jada's
that's in my
term?
head. Yeah, it's just
Does it make you a dictionary?
Yeah, it's just a Richmond Oprah term. Picky choosy people.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
it sounded like they were trying to play chess with you.
Oh yeah.
And actually not trying to be one flowing tree.
Yeah. I
don't know where that came from, but it made sense to what I was trying to say.
It did. I got what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is a thing too. So I think I think you introduce it slowly, your boundaries.
Okay.
But I also think the ones that are really important to you, those are at the forefront.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
If you ain't with it,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it just also depends on the availability. I feel like a lot of people, I could say, I've met a couple of men who are definitely like, oh yeah, this may only be. They would tell me this may be the only time that I can really get in a relationship. People aren't really interested in me, so like I really have to just but I think that's just the wrong approach. So like
they are saying that this is a specific time that they can only be in a relationship.
Yeah, like oh, I'm not having a lot of interest from other women, so I need to do whatever I need to do to keep this. And it's like, when she's doing stuff like that, boundaries out the window.
Yeah,
she can do whatever she wants with you. She can toy you around,
right?
Vice versa too.
Yeah,
for a woman, if she's going through that dilemma, or maybe there's people or men that she don't really like, and now that's the specific man that she wants to go for, and now anything that I need to do to kind of keep this going, I'm gonna do.
Right.
And some of the boundaries get misconstrued when you do that.
And that's toxic. And like, if you don't have any morals or standards for yourself, I think you're going either which way, similar to that tree we're talking about, not in that context, but you're going any which way, and that's not cool. You should know what it is that you want out of like a relationship, and your boundaries and things.
Yeah, I just feel like that's something that you really shouldn't fight with,
No, not at all.
Like, just like we said, it's a appropriate way of going about them without trying to scare your partner off. But once they're set, they're fucking set.
Yeah, I mean, scare off. Can you really scare somebody off if they're truly meant to be for you?
Oh my gosh. Oh, we going into it.
I don't think you can really scare somebody off.
No, you can't.
To be for you.
You really can't. Yeah. If they're meant for you, you can't.
Yeah, and if your boundaries scares them away, then they probably weren't.
They weren't meant for you anyway.
This is true.
Whew, man, we talking about some stuff today.
All right. Well, let's get into this piece. We kind of went through hookup culture versus now, current expectations that men have versus women. So here's a message from an anonymous viewer. Hi, T and J. I've known this guy for years, and we started out as friends. He recently expressed that he wanted to be more than just friends. However, I recently found out that he's still involved with his ex or a past situation. Just recently, I was with him and his ex showed up unexpectedly, and he didn't want to get out of the car. They still share locations with each other, but I also have his location. Is this okay? Even though the relationship is not official, but he expressed that he wanted to be serious. I'll let you go first.
Let me go first. Whew, that was very, very, very explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely
Kind of like that commercial 5 gum that
yeah, the 5 gum commercial.
This does sound like a 5 gum commercial type of situation.
But this is just textbook of everything that we said within this whole episode.
One thing about Jada, she gonna pull out a textbook. Where's it at? Behind the pillow?
It's in my chest at home.
Let's go ahead.
You really tried it.
She does have her textbook.
But
that was not a
just
joke.
major red flags. He ended his relationship a couple of years. I said a couple of years, not a couple of years.
Recently.
2 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple of weeks past,
It just
right?
says recently.
Or recent,
Yeah.
or whenever.
Yeah.
It was very recent. That
Yeah.
means that he hasn't sat down by himself and figured out what his next move is going to be, and the emotional strain that his last relationship may have taken on him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he just wants to have fun, but if he's sitting here saying that he wants a relationship, you have to reflect on that and be like, well, do you really want one?
Mm.
Because are you really ready to be in another relationship as well?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are a couple things that I took from that.
Yeah, that piece. I think this is similar to what I just told you about how you're showing what you're saying one thing or showing one thing, but you're saying a different thing. But this is just flip-flopped.
Right.
So you're saying that this is what you want. I guess you're also expressing it as well, but you're still dealing with the past situation. So it's not really clear. And so I do think somewhat he's in the wrong by saying this and then still expressing or showing actions of wanting to be more and expressing that to this individual.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still dealing with the ex. Cut him off.
Yeah.
Let him
Major
go.
red flag.
Yeah. And two, you don't know what situation or context this is from or age bracket or whatever, but I think maturity has a lot to do with this as well. You know, I think it takes a mature person to say, hey, this is what I want to do, but I'm also still connected to this person as well. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Oh, you honest. Huh. But I don't think that was the case.
Yeah.
So
also goes into the piece as well, like he may be scared to say what he actually wants. Maybe he wants something more casual, but he's scared that'll scare the other person away, because the other person might be great for a relationship, but he just got out of one. So maybe the timeline doesn't add up, and he just doesn't want to admit that, hey, maybe she's not for me right now.
Yeah, but doesn't that make you selfish though? That kind of makes you selfish if you think that you're kind of just protecting yourself and you want the best of both worlds, but you don't want to be open.
You can argue that. You can definitely argue that.
You think it's an argument? You think that's debatable?
I mean, it depends on who you're asking.
I'm asking you, Jada.
Yeah, it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking the next man, then he's gonna be like, oh no.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, this relationship stuff goes deep.
Yeah.
We are different.
I'm talking to the people that are emotionally aware.
Yes, and that too.
Yeah.
It's just it's really different between men and women when it comes to certain situations just like that.
Yeah. What makes you emotionally aware?
What makes you emotionally aware?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, where do I start? What makes you... It starts with self.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Listening to that voice, even though you don't want to listen to that voice, it starts there to your conscious.
Right.
Being comfortable with your thoughts.
Right.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
And then once you have that and you reflect on the way that people have treated you, whether it be family members, whether it be platonic relationships, whether it be romantic relationships, how that happened, how those situations happened, how they ended, how they started out, how they're currently going.
Right.
And then what you like from those and what you don't like.
Right.
And that's how you set your boundaries, and that's how you become emotionally in tune with yourself.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely have to take inventory of...
You about to get me to become... Oprah, I'm in here for real.
No,
we didn't end it.
I definitely think...
Oh my gosh, that's going to be clipped.
I I definitely think you have to take that inventory from your relationships in order to
Yes.
become emotionally aware.
Ooh, I love that. Take inventory.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes,
Okay, I
you
like
have to
this
take
from this person. I
inventory.
don't like this from this person. Love that relationship. Hated this one. Okay, why
Yes.
did you not like, or why did you love that part of that
Yes.
relationship? And I think that's how you internally figure out, hey, this is what I like, and I'm emotionally aware because of these things that I've experienced and went through.
Yes, that's how you become emotionally
And
aware.
that's why I said from hookup culture, you actually can take bits and pieces from those things, and it can be beneficial to you as long as you're using them in the right way. Like, okay, I like how this person did this. I don't like how that person talked to me like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how
Add
you
it to your treasure chest. What's your textbook?
Yeah.
You like that? Nah, I just
Yeah.
brought that up.
You're actually killing it right now.
Yeah. Okay. See?
Yeah.
I do this. True to this. I do to this. Did I say it backwards? I've lost it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's like you have it, and then it's like.
Well, just let me have it. Just let me.
It's like AI does a crossover step back and then misses it.
Right. Well, that has been fun. Any ending pieces or things that you want to leave the people with?
Advice. Just stay true to your boundaries.
Yeah.
Don't flex them. Don't flex the muscle for somebody that you probably know is not worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't flex
and
the
have
muscle
fun.
for nobody. Yeah.
Have fun. Don't be scared to have fun. Even if you're one of those people, an overthinker like me, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to have those experiences or fail. And, because just like I said, it's just going to make you even more emotionally aware person.
Are you talking to yourself right now?
Maybe. Jada? Maybe I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to you.
Hey, there you go.
Me.
There you go. Okay. There you go. I think for me is just what I've been saying the whole episode is just understanding where you're at. So if you want to go out here and the hookup culture right now is the current thing that you with and you're down for, please be safe, have your fun, but just be self-aware as well, and know where you're at. And I think that's how you can move forward and also become more emotionally aware as well.
Yeah.
This is a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Hookup culture. Better and better.
Hookup culture.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like wherever you guys are listening.
Yes.
Whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, and comment. And don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you guys next week.
Yes, we will. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Peace.